Hello, listeners. Welcome to our series. This is our first episode of iotum Live. Um, welcome to the series. And today, in our first episode, we have a very fitting topic: how to become an expert podcast recorder with TalkShoe. This episode would take you through kind of the basic guidelines of how to initiate the new show, launch a new episode, and things of that nature. Before we begin, I'd like to apologize. It is pretty it's pretty creepy to have another set of eyes in the background joining us, but that is my boss's office, so I don't really know what to do about that. I'm going to check back with you in a bit. I'm going to start sharing my screen right now, so we can go ahead and get started. So let's talk about the seven steps about how to become an expert podcast recorder with TalkShoe. So step one, you have to create a new show with TalkShoe. Step two, fill out your show's details, like its name and description, all very general stuff. Step three, click to create a new episode. Step four, schedule your podcast episode for right now or later. I know there's a bit of confusion on that part from what we've been hearing. Step five, invite any guests that you would need or co-hosts in that same area. Step six, join the virtual studio. Step seven, start podcasting with TalkShoe. So let's go ahead and get started. Once you join TalkShoe, you go into TalkShoe.com. You would see a create button on the top right of the page. So right here, it'll take you to your show's series page. If you already have an account, if you don't have an account, you would have to sign up and then log in. Once you sign up, you would see the same thing. Here are your shows, and if it's empty, it's okay. We're about to change that. So if it's empty, you click on new show and put in the title and description of the show, rating and category to gear it towards the right audience, and hit save when you're done. The difference between public and unlisted is public would be searchable for any TalkShoe user through the search engine available on the browse portion of TalkShoe, and unlisted is kind of a private podcast where you would need the special link or dial numbers to join or access the account. Okay. So once you have your show, you would go into the show page to create your episode. Once you so here, oh, right here, sorry. So right here we have upload. If you already have the recording made, video or audio, you would just add it here. Same thing with creating your show. It has the title, description, and the date you wanted to release it on the series. So if you want it to go out tomorrow, then you would click, you would schedule it to let it go out tomorrow. If not, you can also, if you want to record the show right now, oops, sorry. If you want to record the show right now, you would hit schedule. And if it's for later, you would set the time. If it's right now, you would just select the time that's closest to the time that you are on right now. So if it's 2:30, you hit 2:30. If it's 2:15, you hit 2:15. And once you're done, you would see the join studio button right here. So I'll get to that later. Once you are in the schedule portion, fill in the title, description, and then if you wanted to automatically record audio or video, in my case, it would be video, live stream, and the cute smart summary is sort of an auto transcription that generates after the recording is done. So a couple hours after the recording is done, you would see a auto transcription. The next page is participants. So if you have guests that you're trying to interview or co-hosts, you would enter their email addresses here so that they would get a email invite. Oops. They will get an email invite so that they get the right access code and URL, show ID and URL to get into the podcast. So here's the if they're joining in through the phone, Here is the list of dial numbers that you would get for them to join in. If they're from Poland, you would give them the Poland dial number. From New Zealand, if they're calling in from New Zealand, same thing. And they would just they would dial the dial number and then put in the show ID. It'll show up in your page and to enter your podcast. Once you hit schedule, if the time is now, you would see a join studio time a button here to get into the virtual meeting room here. If virtual, yep. If not, then you would see a upcoming episodes here, and that's about it. Once you're in, you would like me, you would start recording your podcast, and yeah. So feel like a master podcast recorder yet? If not, it's probably because you are one. Thanks to TalkShoe. Well, thank you for tuning in. So happy podcasting, and I will see you in the next episode.